The UK believes the EU will not drink up a bid to secure a Brexit trade deal despite official forecasts warning of a major economic hit if a trade deal is not secured. Whitehall sources last night suggested a deal was not likely before next week at the earliest as the talks between both sides continue virtually in a desperate bid to secure a deal. The UK is set to leave the single market and customs union in any event, but work continues on a deal to allow smooth trade with no quotas or tariffs. However, talks between both sides have been stuck at an impasse on the issues of fishing rights, the governance of any deal and the level playing field conditions aimed at preventing unfair competition by cutting standards or increasing state subsidies. Environment Secretary George Eustice said, "It's no secret that there have been two difficult sticking points, state aid and fisheries. Our negotiating team is working hard to try and get a breakthrough and to ensure that we have a free trade agreement and a future partnership." Mr. Eustice stressed the UK government wanted to get tariff-free trade on all goods, but he stressed the UK accepted that the EU weren't up for any kind of special agreement. So since then, we've been working on a simple trade deal much like the EU, Canada won. Referring to the current EU negotiations, he said, "You can take a horse to water but you can't make it drink, and if the EU are reluctant or unwilling to do a tariff-free trade agreement, then we would as a country have to review what our response to that would be." Speaking at Holyrood's Environment Committee, Mr. Eustice also admitted the UK had increased its patrolling of UK waters ahead of the end of the transition period amid increasing fears Michel Barnier and his team will not budge. He added, "The greatest challenges will come in the Channel and the southern North Sea, so we've increased our patrol capacity by about fivefold, with additional vessels from the Royal Navy." A Whitehall source close to the negotiations said this was similar to the current situation between the two sides. The source added to Express.co.uk, "The EU seems to be changing approach. One time you think there's a result, but another time it's a bit further away than you think." They stressed they were hoping for a deal now as early as next week. The Prime Minister's official spokesman said of the current talks between Lord Frost and Mr. Barnier today, negotiations will continue virtually. The spokesman said the UK side was committed to working hard to reach a free trade agreement (FTA) and we're working to bridge the gaps that remain between us.